this fight is 3 rounds in the APFC lightweight division, sponsored by F3 Energy. And now introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 157.3 pounds. Coming in tonight with a record of 4 victories with 1 defeat, from Rockford, Illinois, Hector El Diablo Pulido. And across the cage, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, official weight 154.3 pounds. Coming in tonight with a record of 5 victories with 1 defeat, fighting out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Josue Sotero. And your referee in charge is Tom DeVellis.
Tom DeVellis, our referee here, getting ready to kick things off with Sotero versus Pulido at 155 pounds. The APFC Fight Fiesta rocking and rolling already. Christian Reynoso here alongside David Evans. Such a pleasure to be calling the action alongside you, my friend.
Man, we got started off with a bang here tonight. First few fights just extremely explosive, and I think they're just going to add to
a beautiful right hand.
Need I say it, Christian? Explosive, right on cue. Sotero coming in with that big right hand, getting Pulido's back against the cage. He's in a very good position so far to start this fight.
Well, it looks like David Evans making good use of his crystal ball as he calls that shot early on. Sotero putting El Diablo Pulido on his back with a big right hand.
Sotero's in a great position here, has his opponent's leg split back against the cage. Even better than that, he has great head position. That's going to keep his opponent pinned where he is. And I think he just right now wants to smother his opponent and just land strikes at will.
Let's talk about that for a moment. For a while, wall walking and using that fence to stand up, it kind of became a thing, especially in that Chuck Liddell era. Nowadays, it seems to be more that head positioning that's more the focus in those situations.
Well, fighting is definitely a sport that comes in waves and comes in phases. You had the Chuck Liddell era, now you got the Khabib era, and as we see, he's smothering his opponent, looking for that rear naked choke here, and he has time to just work. He doesn't have to force anything. He has his opponent in a bad position here, just kind of hanging on his back.
Well, you mentioned the forehead pressure there to keep his opponent against the fence. With that being said, he's also able to dictate when he can relieve that pressure. He does so at the perfect time. Taking the back, attacking double hooks now, all Sotero thus far.
Exactly, and the things that are going to keep him on top of his opponent when he relieves that head pressure, he's going to have the legs in, and then more importantly, he has that left wrist control. Keeping wrist control is just keeping a seatbelt and keeping you attached to your opponent. However, Pulido, he's up and possibly out. He's going to have double underhooks, nice knee down the middle. Great job, and we have a fight again.
Absolutely, Pulido not at all letting himself get stuck in that position. After he gets off those hooks, he goes in and pops back up to the feet, takes to the center of the cage, but it's Josue Sotero immediately getting that takedown once again.
Sotero right in on that shot. He did not want to take chances there. Close the distance, snatch the leg up, and we're back here in this backpack position. Wrist control, feet in good position, looking to land strikes, and I think if he continues to do this over time, the finish that he wants may present itself.
A beautiful head kick there off the break there by Sotero, just 21 years old, showing very high fight IQ here early on.
Extremely high. One of the things you learn in the fight game at the highest level is important to strike on the breaks. You don't see it a lot because this is a very advanced skill. It takes a lot of timing and a great sense of rhythm, but Sotero did a great job throwing that left kick up on the break there.
An excellent double leg takedown there. Off the punch of Pulido, Sotero shoots in, perfect timing, gets that head off the center line on the legs immediately, but back up to the feet goes Pulido.
Following in with that shot behind the right hand. I mean, it's simple, it's basic, but more than anything, it's effective. And I think that's going to give him the round, just that approach.
A lot to feel good about in the corner of Josue Sotero.
Here we have both guys in the center. Sotero just came in, sneaky right hand, not loading it up, but just like everything else, sneaking in with the leg attack, and just been constant pressure from start to finish. He got in his backpack position early on, tried to sneak in the choke, kicking on the brakes here. I mean, what was that, 5 minutes of just like everything, every aspect of MMA.
I think we were 2 minutes into the fight, and Pulido had 2 takedowns, 2 back attempts, and 1 knockdown. It's fair to say that he is absolutely getting a chance to showcase his skills.
I think we get our money's worth here at APFC. We got a full fight's worth of activity in 1 round. I mean, the economy of motion there is just phenomenal.
So much to feel good about thus far in the corner of Josue Sotero, but the toughness of Pulido also on display, as he does not at all look fazed or perturbed by the onslaught Sotero put on him in that first round. And away we go, the second round here. Pulido versus Sotero.
We saw early on that first round, Sotero looking to throw that right hand and follow up, but bring his legs behind him and get to the shot, whatever that may be.
And more of the same. Pressuring against the fence is Sotero.
Now, Sotero's doing a great job with those shots, but he has to be careful, as we saw in our last fight. You shoot in and you leave your neck out there. Pulido's looking to maybe threaten the choke there on the defensive end. Sotero doing a great job of keeping his opponent on his heels, and right now he's grappling his way into positions at will.
I like the way Sotero chains his wrestling together from that double leg. Not afraid to pick that ankle and go that route. Truly just working with whatever Pulido will give him.
Very, very fluid in his grappling, and you can, I mean, as you spoke to his experience at the national level, ADCC and all that, it's clearly showing him that.
The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu of Sotero translating inside the mixed martial arts cage as he threatens another takedown. A great job of hiking up those takedowns, though, by Pulido each and every time.
Yes, and the thing is with Pulido, he's a little bit too comfortable fighting on his back foot. You know, he had his opponent's back against the cage right there, and he decided to just kind of give him space. You can't be lax with an opponent like Sotero. You can't just give up anything because you may not get anything in the future.
In the past, Pulido's had a lot of success pressuring forward, using those combinations and hard kicks, switching stances, but he hasn't gotten that chance to do so, as Sotero has had his foot on the gas the whole time thus far, as it's another big double leg takedown to side control by Josue.
Beautiful wrestling by Sotero, doing a great job, landing inside position, looking to climb, maybe go mount, but I think he's just kind of comfortable just riding his opponent. Now we're in a full mount position. We see he's possibly going gift wrapped on that right-hand side, and then maybe going to look to transition into a triangle choke depending on how much space he has.
Yeah, just constantly threatening, and we can see it from the outside, of course, but if you're inside the cage, if you're Pulido, you're maybe not recognizing that there's just one submission sitting after the next, but right now, it's a rear naked choke attempt by Sotero.
Pulido a little bit distracted looking at that other hand. He didn't see the right hand sneak under the jawline, but I guarantee you he felt it in the look of worry on his face there for a second.
But credit to Pulido, who's just so tough now. Inside the guard of Sotero, who's potentially looking, it looked for a second like he was maybe looking to go to that triangle zone.
Yeah, he was trapping the right hand there, looking to maybe throw the other foot up to get over the head of Pulido. However, Pulido is in a good position. I don't know if that's enough for him to get the round, but, you know, judges have a short-term memory. You end the round on top, maybe someone's going to give it to you.
Most certainly giving Sotero something to think about as Pulido. And if you're in the corner of Pulido, you hope that it's enough to turn the tide, if nothing else. If it didn't get you the round, well, maybe, just maybe, you can take some of that momentum and swing it in your favor, David.
Here we have the replay. We see both guys coming out, just wanting to stand in the center. However, Sotero knew exactly where he wanted to get right away. Landing the big right hand, trying to get into his grappling sequences. Beautiful finish to that double leg there, finishing in side control and just looking to kind of build. Got himself in a bad position, and Pulido countered, was able to get on top towards the latter part of the round. However, I still got to go 2-0 Sotero.
Yeah, Sotero looking very strong in his grappling, but when they're on the feet, he has a really nice right hand that seems to sort of come right over the guard of Pulido. More than once already finding the mark, just enough curvature to get over the top and land on the chin of Pulido. And we saw it in the first round. There's power behind those punches, David.
Yes, for sure. And he doesn't load it up, and that's how he's catching his opponent. He may be a grappler, but you can see he's trained that. He doesn't chamber any of his punches, so it just makes it that much harder to see that right hand coming.
A beautiful Superman punch attempt there by Sotero as he uses the opportunity to continue to press forward as he here puts Pulido against the fence one more time and once more time on the floor.
Sotero coming in like a bull in the China shop, man. He has one direction and he has one mode, and he's coming forward the entire time. And he constantly finds himself in this position with his opponent's back against the cage, and he's in a dominant position to attack the legs, get that double leg. And here we go again with that backpack position here.
Just relentless is Josue Sotero at 21 years old. Clearly gas is not a concern for the Lee brothers' disciple. A lot of success coming out of that gym, David, and it's, a potential low blow there against the fence.
Definitely wasn't intentional. I think Sotero is he's just coming forward and punching and throwing in flurries. And, you know, as your opponent and your target moves, sometimes they don't align properly.
Referee Tom DeVellis will give him his 5 minutes, if necessary, to gather his bearings. Here we see in the replay, it was against that fence. Then maybe one of those knees, or maybe it wasn't. Was it a punch or just forward pressure? Whatever the case, something slipping in beneath the belt there. And Pulido will take the necessary time to gather his bearings, and the warning has been issued and we are resuming action in this, the third and final stanza. 90 seconds remain. Sotero versus Pulido in an action-packed lightweight bout.
Sotero switching stances there on the outside, giving his opponent something else to think about. But I think we know where he's going, right? He's going to look to land that big right hand, try to get within shooting range, and get his opponent down to the mat.
A beautiful right hand, to your point, exactly that. Using that right hand to set up another takedown. More punishment being delivered against the fence by Sotero.
Just relentless with the striking in that position from Sotero, and that ground and pound has been the difference maker. I think he's, at a very young age, is doing a great job of fighting in the spaces between the fights, right? You can fight on the outside, we're striking. We can be on the inside, we're grappling. But he's fighting in the mid-range. He gets the takedown, he goes right to the striking, and everything is seamless for Sotero.
This the 7th bout of his amateur career for Sotero, showing some old school foot stomps against the fence. 21 years old, but showing some shades of the Vale Tudo days there against the fence, of Marco Huas foot stomps against Pulido.
I mean, not even technically, just in his approach to the fight, the tenacity, the aggressiveness, man.
Well, a lot can be taught inside the gym, but there's plenty that isn't taught, that is just programmed inside, and that is a fighter's heart. Clearly that is the case for Josue Sotero at just 21 years old, looking like he was born for this.
Back in on that inside single leg, looking to scoop here. Little shades of Daniel Cormier there for a second. I was looking for him to take him over the top. However, he's not going too crazy with it, just locking up the position and looking for position over anything right now.
Well, with short time, it looks like Sotero is more than pleased to finish pressuring forward at the 10-second marker. Lets us know that we're about to put a bow on this one. As Sotero, non-stop pressure on Hector El Diablo Pulido.
Very uncomfortable fight there for Pulido because of the way Sotero approached it. He didn't give him an inch to move in any direction.
Well, the judges will be turning in their scorecards and it'll be tabulated, but it really felt like this was all Sotero from beginning bell to the very end.
Speaking of Sotero, the script for him in this fight is right hand, double leg attack, punch, 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 punch. And that's what we saw all night. Him get into his leg attacks, making his opponent uncomfortable against the cage, against the canvas, and just whenever he got the spot and opportunity to threaten a strike, a big strike or a submission, he took it. Didn't get the finish, but he wore his opponent out.
A fantastic outing for Sotero and a huge opportunity for Pulido to test his mettle, and that he does against Sotero. But as we wait for the official decision, it really feels like Sotero really did not skip a beat once inside the cage. Currently 5-1, riding a win streak, potentially keeping that going tonight. Let's find out as we hear from Michael Hansen.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. And all 3 judges scored this fight 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Josue Sotero!
as the decision.